and we want a silverware. So on that, I think is right. But has he had a brilliant season? What do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean it's quite an astonishing claim to make. Now, I think part of the issue here is the press, particularly the press and the pundits, mainly the press, I guess, but they tend to bait him in the press conferences, and maybe the girl, the woman in the tunnel, not deliberately to upset him, but um, to ask him what sort of season do you think you've had, if that was the question,
Yeah.
is to me a baiting question. And I think the sad thing is he sometimes, understandably, rose to the bait,
Challenge.
and
Yeah.
he got angry with frankly, some stupid questions. I mean, I don't know whether we talked about it before, but a few weeks ago, the question was put to him by a reporter in the press conference. Depending on your result tomorrow in the Europa Cup final with Manchester United, do you think you're going to end up being a hero or a clown? And he really reacted to that, and he said, well, I can't remember his exact words, but along the lines, no, I'm not a clown and I won't ever be a clown. So you can sort of understand that. It feels personally insulting to call him that. Now, the interesting thing about this, I think, is obviously the Tottenham fans are rightly proud and pleased that they've actually got something great to celebrate at the end of the season after what has been a pretty appalling, dismal, sad season for the fans and the team. And I sometimes think that having heard discussions about this on the radio as well, I sometimes think that would the fans rather have had the season they've had, finish 17th, one place above the relegation places, but win a European trophy, or would they rather not have won a trophy, but had a really good season, competing well with the top teams, particularly finishing maybe, I don't know, fifth or sixth, maybe qualifying for one of the European places? What would they rather have had? And I thought that's quite a good question, even to Ange Postecoglou, to say, would you rather the season has been as it is, with the win at the end of the European thing, or would you rather have had a pretty good, maybe typical Tottenham upper middle table, challenging for European places, but no trophy at the end? And I thought, what would I answer to that question? Because whichever way you look at it, there was no satisfaction. There could be no satisfaction with the team's performance in the Premier League last year. To finish a club like that, a big club with great history, to finish 17th on some of those awful, really very poor displays. Having said which, they did still come up with one or two very good results.
Mm.
Um, I can't think what they were now, but I think they did. Did they beat Arsenal? I have an idea that they certainly, maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but they did have a number of good results. But generally, it was reckoned that their performances were well below par. And of course, they lost Harry Kane a couple of years ago, and
Yeah.
maybe for a few years, his presence was sort of covering a few shortcomings in the team, which I don't know, maybe he sensed that, and that's why he wanted to go, as well as wanting to win a trophy. So I don't think for 1 minute this was. What was his word about the season? It was a
He said he
what did
had
you
said
say it was?
he said he's had a fantastic season. He
A
didn't say he had,
fantastic season.
yeah. He didn't even say
Yeah,
that
I think
good
probably.
season. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Well, no, there's no way it was a good season. I don't believe he's an intelligent guy, and I think probably quite a good football manager. I think probably quite a good football manager. He did very well at Celtic when he was there, but many people then say, well, everybody could do well at Celtic because they do tend to dominate, let's face it, up there. But he still had to win what was there, the teams in front of him, and he did that. And he did say he always wins a trophy in his second season, which he's done. So in that point of view, he was probably, pretty ecstatic as he was walking through the tunnel to think we've won a European trophy. Next season we're in the Champions League, the top one, as a result of winning that trophy. And obviously they now will be trying to do things with the team, buy more players, strengthen it, etc. And I kind of hope they keep him there, because he has won that, and that is an achievement. But then again, there may be members of their board, etc., or Daniel Levy is one of the main owner, I suppose, who thinks, well, no, it was an unacceptable team performance for the season in the league. So we need to think about a new manager. But then they tend to change their managers pretty quickly when you think about it. And I just don't think that policy works. It hasn't worked in Manchester United. Since Ferguson retired in 2013, they've had loads of managers. One or two have been good, have won a trophy like Mourinho did. But it's not probably the way these days just to fire people, thinking you're going to get quick results and a quick change in the team. So, yeah, I mean, again, another interesting one like Aneurin, whether Spurs keep or don't keep their manager. I think both he and Aneurin are in a difficult situation.
Well, he's been able to redeem. He's been able to redeem his to an extent.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, he has. Yeah.
We'll wait and see. Now, the next one is the England's women's goalie. I think she's called Mary Epps.
Mary Epps, yeah.
Mary Epps. I think she's just resigned, and the reason that she gave was that she feels it's the right time to resign. She wants to give up and coming players the opportunity to have their day in the England shirt as well as goalkeeper. Now, the reason that people are speculating is that because she was no longer the number one, Veigman's number one, Serena Veigman, and that's why she's probably resigned. Now I don't know. We're never going to find out what really went on. But what do you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, was she not Serena's number one?